Hey, welcome to Too Many Gadgets. Today I'm talking about this, the Poco F2 Pro. If you're following my channel normally, you will know that I usually don't talk about phones. And you will also perhaps be wondering about Poco. I've never heard of that brand name. Why is that? Poco is actually a Xiaomi based company. So Xiaomi you may know of, but Poco is like a sub company they formed to focus on delivering a second brand of phones than their own label. And it's really interesting. So just even looking at the box, you guys will notice that this does not look like a regular wrapping for a phone, and this is indeed true. This is not a normal phone. This is a very interesting piece of device where you get a lot for your money. Let's have a look. Normally you guys will never see me do unboxing videos because, to be honest, I find that sort of content really boring and tedious. I want to see the details of the things that people are talking about, not which box did it came in. But I'm doing an exception here because actually when I did open this device, I thought it was kind of cool, the unboxing experience. I must say they have put some thought into this. So just to honor that, I will do an exception and do an unboxing of this device. So this phone has a 6.67 inch AMOLED display that goes all the way to the edges. I really like this as you will have no punch hole camera in the top as they use a pop-up camera for selfies, which we'll come back to. The processor of this unit is a Snapdragon 865, and that gives you plenty of power and snappy response from the phone. That chip is the same that you will find in the OnePlus 8 Pro, so again that will also enable you to support 5G networks should that be something that you would find of interest. The phone has an optical fingerprint reader in the screen, which is something I find really cool. I'm not a huge fan of putting fingerprint readers here on the backside because usually what will happen is that you will either put your thumb over the cameras or have trouble finding it. So it's just so much easier once they've had the ability to put it into the screen, and I have no problems whatsoever with the response time. Even though it's built into the screen, there is no like built-in front camera always sort of available, you can still use the pop-up camera, which I just shown you here now, to do Face ID as a locking method. So that works out fine. So just let's have a look at this front camera. So the way it works is that it pops up here, and just pay attention to the small corner animation and the sound, and that's actually something that you can customize, which I find very cool. So again, you can choose the color that you want if you want a color, and also the sound if you want a sound when the camera pops up. Something that, you know, just a little bit of a flair here that I think is very cool. Charging this phone is done via a USB-C port, which you will find in the bottom, and there is a fast charger with this phone that can charge it from just below 1 hour. The phone weighs just below 220 grams and have this curvy edge thing on the back that I really like. It feels good to hold in your hand, and again with the big display that goes all the way to the screen, you really have a great phone here. Something that's not common to see in these days is a jack stick for audio, and you also have a IR blaster should you want to use this phone as a remote control. Right now this phone is running Android 10 with the MyUI skin that is provided from Poco. That's always your own preference which one you like, if you like the stock Android, but I have no troubles with this. I think it's a great phone, and I think the animations and stuff like that are to my liking, so no worries here. It has a 4700 milliampere battery, and there is a speaker here in the bottom of the phone. It actually comes with a free cover in the box, which is something that's really nice, and the cover has that the advantage that it would actually sort of align the camera so they won't stick out, which they will a little bit if you don't have a cover on it, so that is also a plus. So let's just take a moment to talk about where this phone is not sort of top of the line, because there are a few areas where you can see that there has been made decisions about downgrading stuff to keep it affordable. So the screen is the clear example, because I think it's a very good looking screen, but when we're talking about the light intensity, which is usually measured in what we call nits, this is rated to being 500, and you will find phones that are that have a higher number. And the key area where you will see this is if you are using the phone in direct sunlight, then it could be an issue of not getting that good of a picture compared to some of the other high-end phones. This screen has a refresh rate of 60 Hz. And again, if we are comparing to some of the high-end models, you will find up to 144 Hz screens. This is mostly for you guys that are using your phone as a gaming device, where this is something that you may notice a small difference compared to other top models. This phone does not support wireless charging, so if that's something that's key for you, this is not the one for you. Again, it has a really fast charger with the 30 watt unit that comes along with it, but again, no support for wireless charging. It does not have an IP rating for water resistance or dust protection. So really, if you are used to taking your phone into the pool and taking pictures underwater, you cannot officially claim that this phone will support that. So if it breaks, it's on you, because again, it has no official rating on its ability to handle dust or water. So yeah, those are the primary things. And then perhaps just also that it only has, just in the bottom here, one speaker, so one mono speaker, where you will find multiple speakers on some of the other high-end devices. So those are like the key areas I've found with this phone where it's not top of the line. So when talking about the cameras, you have this quad configuration here with 4 cameras. So it has the main camera, which is a 64 megapixel camera. Then you have a 13 megapixel ultra wide camera, a 5 megapixel macro camera, and a 2 megapixel depth camera. The camera on front for the selfie is a 20 megapixel camera. In terms of video, you have the option to go all the way up to 8K, or the typical your run-of-the-mill 4K up to 60 FPS, and 1080p up to 240 FPS. So I know cameras is really important for many of you guys when you are selecting the phones you are going with. So let's try and a quick battle between this Poco F2 Pro and an iPhone 11 Pro Max. First picture is a close-up of a flower, and I think the iPhone slightly wins here with a little more detail. Next picture is from my backyard, where you can perhaps spot a squirrel just sitting on the fence. And here you will really see the difference when we are zooming in, because here look at all of the details you get with the 64 megapixel camera on the Poco, whereas the iPhone really lacks the pixels here. Looking at the same backyard from the standard camera, I think the colors are a little bit better on the iPhone than the Poco. Same zoom example here from open view, where you can see the flowers just on the left side, and if we just try to repeat that on the iPhone, you will see that again it's really lacking the pixels here. So this was really fun to do. Again, I didn't know of Poco before this phone was sent to me, but it's it's been a pleasure to see this, and I'm really glad that Poco is taking a fresh view on like small design details like the red button and stuff like that. I think this is a fresh breath of air in the way that we are looking at how to design phones and chargers and all of that. So really a good first impression of this phone from Poco, and I really look forward to following them and see what else they are coming up with. The phone costs just below $500, and I'll leave a link to AliExpress where you can get that, including shipping. So see you guys in another video, or just drop a comment if you have any questions, or if you want to share your experience with this phone. See you guys. Bye.